In this video, I'd like to reveal to you my supplement stack, something that I personally believe has just 10x'd not only my bedroom life, but my overall life as well. From the work, being able to stay focused and energized throughout an entire workday and beyond. Plus, it also allows me to really still have the energy, the presence for when I want to have leisure time with friends, family, or just myself. I think this is so overlooked. If you're trying to work, maybe you're half-assing it, or you're not focused, or you don't have the energy, or if you are trying to relax, your head's still somewhere else, whether it is work or you're really not being present and it feels like you don't even get time to yourself or to relax at all. Now, I honestly believe alongside a really well-structured health and lifestyle regime, including doing everything that you can when it comes to sleep, diet, training, and so many other things, a good supplement stack can do that much more for your life. If done correctly, I think it is definitely worth the investment and the time that I honestly think you need to spend not only investigating the supplements that will work for you, because trust me, everyone is different, and just because I show you my supplement stack, it may or it may not work for you. But I just want to walk you through my supplement stack, the things I think about, and really what I think is making a difference and how. There are definitely some supplements, I will admit, that I'm not 100% sure. I'm just hoping for the best, and I will care to mention those as I walk you through the stack. Now, some of these supplements you will notice they are definitely geared towards or focused on male enhancement, whether it is trying to improve hardness or maybe even lasting longer through calming the nervous system down. It is definitely bedroom or sexual performance themed. So you will notice that. But at the same time, a lot of the supplements as well are going to improve my overall health and wellness. And thus, as you can imagine, if you're a loyal follower of Total Man so far, you know that sexual health and health are more or less the same. You take care of one and the other will benefit. Now, believe it or not, this is not actually the entire stack. I've actually run out of a few items. I do want to point out what I think is making a difference, how it's making a difference, and a few of the items that, look, I don't know 100%, but it's very promising and I hope it does make a difference. This supplement might be at a stage where I haven't been able to remove it from the stack and see if I notice a difference. Now, what I mean by that is supplementing is a very, very long process. I mean, imagine you buy a supplement and it provides the, I guess, intended outcome for you, and you cross your fingers, you hope that it does just that. Now, some people, like every person, is going to be so different. What may work for you may not work for another person, and usually supplements are a complex of different ingredients and micronutrients. So, you might have one single ingredient that takes so long to pinpoint that might actually be causing an issue in your body. Now, I've had this so many different times, but again, it's taken me so many years to actually figure out, holy crap, every time I take, a supplement with this promise, I feel like crap. And it's taken so long to notice the pattern. Each of these supplements with different intentions happen to have this one ingredient. And for my case, I'll just give you an example, a specific type of folate, right? I've done my gene test before and I've actually been recommended this specific type of folate. But every time I take it, it takes about 4 days and all of a sudden my anxiety goes through the roof. And sometimes I just feel like maybe it's like the eye of the storm. My body's just getting used to it. I try to push through, but by the end of, a week, maybe 2, if I can even make it that far, it just feels like the day feels like impending doom. And as soon as I remove this supplement that has this ingredient, everything disappears. So super strange. I just want you to keep that in mind because this may happen to you. You might have even already experienced this. And if you have, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So this is my supplement stack at the moment that, as you can imagine, it's taken a while for me to gather not only this amount of supplements, but to figure out like each and every one doesn't affect me negatively, right? If it just does nothing, that in some regard is a positive. It's a good outcome. But obviously you don't want to be wasting your money as well, right? So how do we figure out if it's actually doing something? Now, there are a number of these products that I'm not 100% sure, and the way that I do it especially among so many other supplements that you may have in your stack. The way that I personally like to do it is I'll add a supplement, and then over the course, it has to be quite a long time. It has to be like that. I remove it and then just see what happens. Now, there are so many different variables in life that you need to keep that in mind. You know, maybe you go through a period of life where you just happen to get less sleep, depending on if you're tracking these types of variables, but it's the things that I think about. And I wanna make sure that, you know, I'm not blaming the supplement when it could have been some other variable in my lifestyle. But supplements as they are, they're usually concentrated versions of an ingredient that you may or may not be able to get in food, or as consistently as you would hope to. And especially when it comes from food, you know, the variables of the amount of each ingredient are near impossible to get. And this is why it makes it quite difficult to get all of your micronutrient needs from food alone. And that is even if you are on an exceptional diet, which I would recommend even way before any supplemental use. So this is actually what I do on a daily basis. There's usually actually a few more than these, but I've run out of a number of, I think, 2 supplements at the moment. So there's usually maybe like another 4 pills in there. A bit of raw milk at the moment with some honey. I'm about to hit the gym. And a few of these ingredients, I think I've timed it. I'm probably a bit late to be taking these ingredients. I usually take it about 10 a.m. This is about 1 p.m. only because of what a few of these supplements do. There are a number, especially the male enhancement supplements, which I will tell you about. There is such a noticeable difference. The days I don't take it and the days that I do, just feeling a little bit more toey, if you know what I mean. Usually takes me 2 goes. Nice. If I'm feeling ballsy, I'll go for the whole thing in one go. But I mean, for a spare second, just to not choke on that pill, or to have that, you know, that pill that gets stuck in your throat for like half the day, and doesn't matter what you eat or drink, it doesn't go down. Or maybe it's like a ghost pill. It feels like it's there, but maybe it's not. I have no idea. But I know you know what I'm talking about if you've had pills before, or this many. I've even had it swallowing just 1 pill, which sucks, which is quite ironic when my stack is this. Alrighty, so these guys, I've definitely noticed a massive difference. I feel like this is like the most natural multivitamin for me, especially someone that's been vegan before for 4+ years. I eventually got to the point where my health had to take priority. I didn't go vegan for health reasons, it was more animal reasons. But then I really learned some stuff about, you know, the industry and really the benefits. There are true benefits of not being vegan, literally for the animals. And for some of the vegans out there, I know that might sound ironic, but I won't go into too much detail about that. That's just my opinion in 2 cents. Mind you, for any of the beef that I have, all right, so this is also just to feed into the whole health and wellness thing before getting into any supplemental use. I pay top dollar for grass-fed, grass-finished, as local as I can beef. All right, so that's my main protein source, usually extra lean. Otherwise, I'll go for a porterhouse and I won't need as much other fats that I have. But I went from literally being a vegan to putting meat back in. I went through a few health issues from the time of recording this video a little under 2 years ago, and it led me to a number of different food intolerances that went all the way to doing the lion diet, which is essentially beef, salt, and water. It was the only thing that I could eat that I felt good on, and it felt like I was giving my body a break, even though by the end of about 4 months, I ended up having hydration issues. I had to go to the toilet, you know, a couple times a night, and you screw with your sleep, you screw with your life, right? So if you're familiar with Paul Saladino, if you're not, he's a great resource for what I'm about to talk about. It's essentially the same diet that I'm doing now. So it's beef, fruit, honey, and raw milk. Now the fruit that I have come from coconuts, all the way to coconut yogurt, banana, blueberries. It's what doesn't affect me, makes me feel my best, gives me all my macronutrients, including my fats, proteins, and carbs, and majority of what I think of the micronutrients that I need. Now, after that, I think that I do top up on all that I need from this, in my opinion, is the most natural multi. Just knowing that it comes from beef, a source of micronutrients that have dramatically benefited me in the past, being, full-blown carnivore. But now having the benefit of such a clean and bioavailable protein and micronutrient source, I've always stuck to beef organs, such as the ones I just showed you, on top of the other foods for my carb source, so that it just helps me focus and train a lot more intensely, and it makes me feel quite balanced by the end of the day. I guess this is one that I really don't know if it's making a difference, and there are a few ingredients in here that I do need to be careful of that may impede on other ingredients, and this is something that you really need to consider when you're adding so many supplements, especially like a stack like mine. And one thing you may notice is, even though it looks like a lot of ingredients, you always need to remember that some of the micronutrients will cross over. Some supplements will have the same ingredients. So really, when you stack so many supplements together, especially if they're not by the same company, usually they will keep that in mind for you. But a lot of these are from different companies that I've sourced over the years, and you need to almost tally up every ingredient just to make sure that you're staying within recommended limits. Because there are definitely, just remember, supplements are usually concentrated forms of micronutrients that you're aiming or hoping to get from food, but you don't. So that's one thing to consider. The food is giving you the micronutrients, but also the supplement stacks and the crossovers from each supplement if you have more than one. So even though this looks like a lot, some of them recommend taking 4 pills a day, but to accommodate for those crossovers, some of the supplements I might only have 2 pills for the day, even though it recommends 4, but that's just so I don't have too much crossover. And let's say that bottle is supposed to last me a month. Because I've halved the recommended dosage, I get 2 months out of 1 bottle. So this is one of the male enhancement supplements I was talking about. It really does have some pretty decent ingredients for other reasons as well, but they market it like this max volume, right? So it's supposed to give you a bigger load. Now that's not necessarily the thing that intrigued me, but the reason you get more volume is because of prostate health. And if you look after your prostate, pretty big things can come from that, including your load. This one, I've always been a fan of citrulline, L-arginine, things to boost blood flow and cause vasodilation, and the combination of these two, specifically being L-citrulline and L-arginine, I've always just found a fantastic combo. There are so many studies to prove the benefits of having these two as a stack, and I've just been able to find this in pill form, which sometimes is so much more convenient than having to swallow down a bunch of dry powder that doesn't even mix with water. At this point in time, this is one of those supplements that, again, I'm not 100% sure if it's doing much. DIM, if you're not familiar with it, it's going to help balance your hormones. I'll just keep it at that. Carmline, this is one I've definitely noticed a difference with. It does have a few ingredients that ups your metabolism. And for me, I've found that when I'm doing cardio or even working out, I feel like I'm just running hotter. I'm burning through more calories, but at the same time, usually when that happens is you get more hungry. And you want to eat more food, obviously, because you're going through burning more energy. But this does seem to blunt the appetite, not crazy levels. I'm not recommending going on crazy low calorie diets. I never think that's a good thing. I think you should actually always work out as much as you can and your body is able to, and then eat enough to fuel your day plus the workout just. I mean, if you're at a good body fat level, like I personally think that I operate really well on about 12 to 15% body fat, and that's not anything extreme, by the way. All right, I've gotten down to 7% body fat before and just felt miserable. All right, and eventually, my hormones would start getting affected negatively. My focus, I'd start getting fatigued a lot more. Just my whole metabolism. I feel like my body was trying to compensate by lowering my resources through energy, which kind of sucks. So I'm at this point in my life where I don't really need to be crazy lean. I would rather just take care of my brain, my heart, and the way that I feel on a daily basis. And even if that means a little bit of extra cushion for the pushing, I'm fine with that. But this definitely helps me feel like I can increase my calories because my burn is higher, while at the same time, I don't feel like I need to pig out because of the amount of calories that I've burned. So it doesn't really make me feel like I need to eat an excess amount of calories. This one's an interesting one. It does have ashwagandha, which is proven to have great benefits on hormones. But at the same time, it's got a number of ingredients in here that is supposed to calm the nervous system, which is definitely great for getting you harder, lasting longer, and those benefits are obviously going to feed into increasing size if you're on that train. But what I've found, I don't have it here, and I wish I did so I could show you, but there is one supplement that is on the way. It's called Testosterone. I've found this is one of the best testosterone boosters I've ever found, and trust me, I've tried so many. I've spent so much, and especially with some, I've gone through an absolute shitstorm of a roller coaster, because some have worked so good that it felt like I was on, a chemical train. Like I literally needed to go down before I came back to normal again. It's almost as if I was on gear. I mean, you will definitely get that with good working supplements, but I think most will give you a decent benefit, but without too much crash or negative consequences. This one in particular, Testosterone, I've found just all the good without the bad. Now, why I want to mention that while I'm talking about this quarter sync is because I've found that the higher my testosterone, I always find the higher my motivation. And I think that's because there is a strong correlation between levels of testosterone. So the higher your testosterone, the higher your levels of dopamine. And usually dopamine being the motivation chemical as many think of it, and many more reasons. And it obviously plays so many more roles than that. But why I wanted to say that is because I've always found with the supplement, with even more libido, which comes with dopamine and testosterone as well, I've found I also have motivation for everything else, including work, including leisure. And sometimes my motivation is that high, maybe it might be the ADHD in me, I tend to do things a lot faster. And when I start doing things faster, I get a little more edgy, and it's almost like my movement of my body signals to my body that it is borderline stressful. That's how fast I want to, speed through life. So I think this one in particular also allows me to be calm. So it allows that motivation, even if I feel like I'm a freight train running through life, I feel like it's smooth, right? So I still get to go fast, but it's a lot smoother. That's probably the best way that I can describe it. I'm pretty sure it was only 3 days since recording the video of the original footage that you would be watching now. This is how much I love this stuff. All right, the best, in my opinion, the best test booster on the freaking planet, Testosterone. Obviously you get more of a discount with more that you purchase, so I thought I'd just stock up. Let me see. I actually forgot how many I got. I'm pretty sure it was... oh my god. Yeah, right. Yeah, let me see. I'll lay it out. This is how much I love the stuff, and I just wanted to stock up for future purposes. Because why not get a mad discount on bulk? That's not all testosterone. I've also really big fan of the nitric oxide supports of Vigor-X, citrulline, L-arginine. I have had other powder forms of citrulline and L-arginine by themselves. There are other supplements you can get with this combination. Again, it is supposedly the best at releasing nitric oxide at this dose. And this to me is like the cleanest stuff. This is something that also drives me up the wall. Whatever they say is in here, sometimes the dose is different, but even if the dose was the same, some products they feel different. Like, if they are doing what they are intended on doing, but then they have these side effects, how do you know if it's the actual thing, or maybe filler ingredients, or the quality of the ingredients? Because I don't think some micronutrients might not come from the same exact source, so you gotta keep that in mind. But anyway, I think it was 20 bottles, maybe more. 20 bottles of testosterone. What is it? Fucking hell. I feel like I'm sorting out puzzle pieces. Testosterone. So this is 1 bottle, 1 month. I don't really like to continually order
as you can imagine, all that often. That's how confident I am, man. Like, I've never been so confident in a testosterone booster. Like, a lot of them I will eventually give the flick because I don't know, it comes to like some day in the future where I'm like, I don't even know if this is doing anything anymore. Every time I've jumped off and then back on this again, all right, this is all test. Holy crap, I should have ordered more nitric oxide, or this one. How many? There's 4. Let me put it in a row of 5. I'm pretty sure it's 20, maybe. Maybe I should have got 20. 20, nice. 20 bottles, 20 months of testosterone. Yeah, so look, every time I have jumped back on this stuff, like on top of everything else that I do in my health and wellness regime, you'd say, noticeable difference. Even with the technically the male enhancement supplements that, you know, increases libido, blood flow, even while taking all that, and as I mentioned in the video, the raw footage, the original footage, I ran out of this stuff. And yeah, it was different. I think I probably wasn't taking it for maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. Not the worst thing either, because most testosterone boosters you want to take a break from. Any supplement you really want to take a break from. Not only so that it, you know, increases its effectiveness once again, but also a beneficial point to make with not having it for a little bit is to see if it actually does anything. And yeah, with this one, I'm yet to experience maybe like 4 continuous months without 1 week off, just to see if the benefits just remain. So I'm yet to do that. I've probably had maybe a month and a half, close to 2 months straight, then a week off, and then back on again. And then just the benefits instantly again, which is really cool. So I don't know what the heck is in this, or the lack of ingredients that prevents any side effects from happening. Like, I just feel good. So if that's not a positive, I don't know what you can get, what supplement you can get with, you know, that much upside.
Okay, so this guy is one that I'm not 100% sure, but I really feel like I'm close to getting to the point where I think I know what the differences are. And so far, like, there are a number of other variables that I really need to consider, because there have been a number of lifestyle changes, including one I won't go into too much detail about, but I think it's electromagnetic fields. I'll just say that and leave it there. The health of my skin. This is supposed to release growth hormone, or help your body release, you know, natural amounts more than what you are releasing. As a result of that and a few other ingredients, one of the benefits that is noticeable, that is completely visual to you, not including all the other internal mechanisms, is skin health. And one way that I can really tell, other than visualizing my skin, is when I am consistently doing anything to do with increasing the size of my D. As you can imagine, if you're doing that at the moment or have done in the past, there's a lot of stress due to methods on the skin. All right, so attachment types, either on the shaft or the glands, you know, it's going through a lot of stress. And I feel like it can tolerate a bit more than usual, right? So, and if that's what that supplement does, and it's all it does, I think there's a benefit. But supposedly there is promise to a number of other functions. I mean, if it does release more natural levels of growth hormone, you don't need to be a wizard or a scientist to, you know, jump on Google and check out all the benefits that high levels of growth hormone, especially as we age, has on the body. And the lucky last, but again, I don't have all the supplements here. VigorX, man, I took this so many years ago. This is such a OG product. It definitely, I think, gets thrown in the mix of the products that most people think are probably scams. But it's in my stack for a reason. I took it so many years ago, and every time I jumped on it, I obviously got persuaded by the marketing, like the first time I bought it. And I just don't think I was doing enough for my health and wellness and fitness to notice a difference. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, but I think it's gotten to this stage of my life, and, you know, a number of times jumping on and off this to realize that it was, but I didn't realize it back then. And now, especially with the way that my health and lifestyle is now, it definitely makes a difference, especially just the towiness. That's what I'm talking about. This guy, I mean, when you're more motivated to get to the bedroom because your libido's higher, I just feel like there is not only more motivation for the bedroom and everything else to do with that, including getting harder, lasting longer, which that I think also helps with, but for size as well. You're that much more motivated to stick to a routine and stay consistent because your libido is high. You're more motivated to get to the bedroom and everything else that is associated to the bedroom, including your performance. Now, personally, I can't be 100% sure, but obviously there are ingredients in here that's supposed to support blood flow. And obviously if there is more blood flow, whether it is local or systemic, I personally don't think you can, when taking a supplement, choose something to be completely local. It is a systemic thing that the body gets to choose, right? It gets digested in the stomach and then delivered, you know, where appropriate. But I do think that this one in particular, especially with the other one, this guy, with L-citrulline and L-arginine, does help with blood flow. So as you can imagine, like, to compare that and for me to even say that, I would need to be taking this and then intermittently jumping on and off this guy to see if there is any more blood flow. And I think it's pretty noticeable. So before I close out, guys, please don't think that this is me recommending you take literally all these supplements. Just remember, I mean, to be honest, like this, you'll be paying a little bit for this. Obviously, the more supplements, the more expensive. And because there is ingredient crossover, I'm not going through like some bottles as quickly as others. So, you know, one bottle that's supposed to usually last a month by itself may last 2, 3, sometimes even 4 months, depending on the supplement. Now, if you don't take any supplements and you are actually trying to do everything right, so you're not putting the cart before the horse, you're not trying to supplement your way out of a poor lifestyle and diet choices, then you might start off with just one supplement. I think that's the best approach. If you just started with like literally everything, if you felt crap or you felt good, you might not know what the fuck is doing what, right? So at the same time, you want to be getting results. You don't want to be getting any negatives or consequences because of it. And at the same time, you also don't want to be wasting money. So personally, I'd recommend starting with one at a time. Maybe 2, and just seeing how you go, because the way that you're going to really make sure you're not wasting money, you're getting all the pros, none of the cons, is by doing one and then adding the next and just assessing one by one. Because even, like I said, in one supplement, there could be a bunch of ingredients. And it took me such a long time, an annoyingly long time, to work out some of the ingredients that I had in the past that were actually causing consequences. One of late probably took me maybe a span of like 6 to 8 months, maybe. Right after I got my gene test, I was recommended folate. I took it as a sole ingredient, and then, you know, that's where I got the experience. So that was a bit of a clear indicator for me. But then I also had some other supplements. It was in the ingredient list. I thought, you know, maybe it was actually fine. Maybe it was something else. And then when I threw it in, 1-2 weeks, definitely that. Another supplement, it snuck in with a different name. Sometimes you also got to be careful of that. And I didn't notice it because it was, you know, either in brackets or it was just tiny. And I felt the same feeling. It was very, very distinct. The one that I like knew by then must have been coming from folate. So I looked at the supplement again, and sure enough, there it was. So I will leave the supplement list and maybe a few of the places where you will be able to find these. Some of them unfortunately, I apologize for this, maybe you can find it close to you. If you really do want to follow along with my stack, some of these supplements you may not be able to find online. So you may or you may not. I'm not saying you can't, but just keep that in mind. And if you can't, I apologize. But a few of these other ones, I will definitely include links for you to go to the different sites to actually investigate more, because that in of itself, just sourcing the different products from different places takes a lot of time. So I want to save you that time, that headache, and hopefully a bit of money as well. Now, a few of these supplements I have been so pleased with that we are really trying hard to get them on our sites, because I personally believe, well, I want them to start with, but I just feel like many of you are going to experience results and benefits from, at the very least, a few, I hope. And we want to do so by offering it with a money back guarantee. Like, you don't feel positive results because of it, you just send the bottle back, we'll send you a refund. because I obviously don't want you to waste your money and I want you to have all the benefits. Plus, if you do, I also want to be able to offer our loyal customers massive discounts, probably discounts that you won't be able to find from the sites that I'll include in the links. Now, usually you're looked after by most companies with subscriptions and everything, but yeah, we definitely want to do that and hopefully go above and beyond by rewarding our loyal customers. I hope this video helped, guys. For more content like this, check out totalmanperformance.com. And for all enlargement products, courses, and eventually supplements as well, we hope, we're crossing our fingers, sooner rather than later, you can go to totalmanshop.com, where you'll also be able to find money back guarantees, because that's the way that we like to offer our products. As always, guys, be the man you know you can be. I'll see you in the next video.